Here we are with the old F100 talking solid lifters. I haven't made a video for a little while, I graduated college and had a job all figured out, so you see me kind of sell off some of my stuff, my race engine that was real decent that I built, and my motorcycle, and some other things I haven't had on camera. And yeah, I sold the Mazda as well. So anyway, all that and a house down payment later, and here we are where we have something decent, and we have a decent garage where in the future we'll be able to do something. We got that nice little shop out back. So anyway, I look forward to doing some engine builds, and some good stuff will come out of there. But anyway, today I wanted to dispel some of the fallacies that go along with solid lifters. There's a lot you can read on the internet and it's just plain wrong. So this is my little 289 engine. You've seen me do a lot of how-to videos over the years with it. It's kind of the mule, different things get tested on it. A little 5-speed F100. But anyway, it runs a solid lifter cam, the Nostalgia N271 Plus, and it's not too aggressive lift characteristics, just under 500 on the intake and exhaust. But anyway, if you remember, I've driven this engine all over. It used to be in my Galaxy. I drove it all the way from Iowa to Virginia, and that's about 1,400 miles to where I was going in Virginia. Drove it all summer, drove it back, pulled it out the next day, dropped it in this F100, drove it all fall, and then drove it all spring again. And I drive it daily once again right now. It's been a pretty good little engine, but that's about 10 or 12,000 miles. And one of the common things with solid lifters is people complain about them. Oh, you need to adjust those all the time and stuff. They'll say hydraulics, you just set them and forget it. And I do have a lot of good videos out there on how to adjust hydraulic lifters, and they are pretty reliable. But what I don't like about them is high RPM. They're not always your friend, and over time, if you have like a street rod especially and you sit around a lot, your oil can kind of varnish up, and some of those lifters can fail and have pump up issues. So anyway, I've always really liked solid lifters, but just to show, after 10 or 12,000 miles, I got my 13 thousandths feeler gauge here, and on my cam card from Comp it says to set these to 12 thousandths hot lash. So we've been running the engine. We can see the fuel pressure hasn't bled down yet. It's fairly warm. It was running about 30 minutes ago or so. So anyway, when I set my lash, they want 12 thousandths hot. So I set my intakes to 14 or to 13, and my exhaust to 14, because obviously the exhaust valve is going to expand a little bit more. But anyway, getting to the point here, after all these miles, this is my 13, and I still cannot fit this in. So really, what you only lose to a solid lifter, the only way you lose adjustment is if you start wiping your cam. And how I managed to accomplish this is I use what are called poly locks. Now what it is just your standard rocker nut, but then it has an Allen screw in the top that locks in your adjustment. So it's a tremendous invention, and you never lose your adjustment with it. It's worked tremendously well. I just can't say enough good things about it. But obviously you can see after all these miles I've never lost anything on my adjustment, and it still runs hard and sounds good, and I'm happy with it. So as long as you run a good additive in your oil for flat tappet stuff, if you are flat tappet, if you're solid roller, you're just fine, and slap some poly locks on there and you'll be good to go. So anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video over solid lifters, and if you you disagree, you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. I always get back to people pretty well. But anyway, pretty much there you have it. So impresses me quite a bit. I've checked them every 4,000 or 5,000 miles or so, like I was doing here today, and I've just never lost any adjustment in them whatsoever. So anyway, just something to think about. Solid lifters definitely are a lot better than people give them credit for.